I'd like to call to order the Wednesday, April 10th, 2024 Townsend Conservation Commission meeting at 7:02 p.m. Can I have a roll call, please?
James DeRoyan present.
James Gates.
Kevin Smith.
And Pat General.
Kevin, you mind leading us in the pledge of allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Play ball.
This meeting is being recorded. If anyone else is recording, please let me know. Chairman's additions and or deletions. We are adding 3.2 site plan update, 50 Sauna Grove Road. And 4.4, 66 Bayberry Hill Road A&R plan.
Chair.
Yes, sir.
3.2 for Vinton.
Copy of the agenda.
You need a copy of the agenda?
Oh, thank you. Guess I'll live with that. Mind my bad eye tonight.
We'll allow it. 1.5 chair report. I just want to remind everyone, commissioners and attendees, that we do follow a meeting decorum in regards to respecting whoever's talking, and that any one that wishes to speak addresses the chair before proceeding.
Cindy, did you want to sign in?
It's recorded, so
Just wanted to go through the formality.
super worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
So we all need to be respectful. Phones on silent, and we also need to make sure we keep the chatter between ourselves pertinent to the topic, and also not to have two conversations going on at once, because it's very difficult to hear when you're watching the YouTube and for doing meeting minutes. Review and approve meeting minutes from 3/13/24 and 3/27/24. Has everyone had a chance to review?
Yes.
Do we have any questions, comments, feedback?
Negative.
No.
Negative.
We need a motion and a second, please.
A motion to approve and review meeting minutes for 3/13/24, 3/27/24.
Second.
7 seconds. Roll call vote, please.
James DeRoyan, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
Pat General, yes.
Jimmy, 3.2 was Vinton Farm. What was the other one for? What?
4.4, 66 Bayberry Hill Road A&R plan. It's just a correspondence.
Okay. Bayberry. King?
What?
King?
66, yes, sorry,
Right?
yes.
Okay. Thank you for helping me with that.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I saw that look in your eye.
1.7 agent report. Hi, Autumn. Thank you for
Hey,
joining
guys.
us.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
So my report covers dates of March 28th to April 10th. We had 2 building permit sign-offs for 6 Campbell Hill Farm Road and 9 Ponderosa Drive. Referrals completed from the ZBA and Planning Board. We had an ANR plan, which is in the tote for you to review, for 66 Bayberry Hill Road. That doesn't need to be voted on, just reviewed. There's a Board of Health interdepartmental signatures for 201R Main Street and 18 Spruce Street. I completed an admin approval for a hazard tree that was threatening a house at 438 Main Street. Applications in review are 42 and 22 West Meadow Road. The fee was submitted on 4/8, and an NOI for 65 Adams Road that was submitted on 4/1 and requested additional information and for the application to be signed correctly also on 4/1. Letters to homeowners. We had One Meadow Road, possible WPA violation for ATV use within a wetland. 85 Turnpike Road, possible Wetlands Protection Act violation for tree cutting within a wetland buffer. And 0 Mason Road, possible violation for driveway construction within a wetland buffer. We continue to work on posters and games for the Earth Day event. And we also had a site visit to 22 Sauna Row Road, which I have photos of that I took of hazard trees within the vegetated buffer. If you'd like to see those, I can put them up real quick.
Autumn, just going back to Earth Day, are you set up with Earth Day with tables? Are you in need of anything that we can drop off? I have some tables I can help set up. Do you have plants and such that you would possibly need?
Yeah, I will need at least 2 chairs, depending on who wants to attend. I believe Jessica and I will be attending. So if anyone else would like to attend, we might need 3 chairs and I think just 1 longer table.
Yes, I'll be attending, Jessica.
I can-
Autumn.
I
Okay.
got two big
And I'll bring
tables
my
I
own
can
chair.
drop off to help quick
Cheers.
setup.
Chairs are good.
And Dick will help me out if we can do some jolly jump ups or some peonies or some, I can get a handful of flats
So
for the
you can-
kids
Okay.
and such.
You can do
That would be
tables
great.
and chairs, you said?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I'm not gonna hang out.
That's
I'm
okay.
gonna come down, set up and run.
We're gonna hang out. We're gonna do some wetland trivia and have some candy and things to give away to kids that want to participate. So
How about some plants too, for the kids, maybe less candy, more plants?
I think that's a great idea.
Okay, so I'll see my buddy down at Dick's and we'll get a couple, 3 flats.
Yeah, whatever. Sounds good.
And kids will love those. Go home, they can plant them. Everybody's got a jolly jump up, happy, happy. All right, done, great.
Setup starts at 8 a.m. However, so I think it's 8 to 9 is the setup time. So I'll fill you in on the details at a later date.
I'll stop in the office later this week.
Okay, thank you.
Something to look forward to.
Autumn, the possible violations, were any of those something that will need to be looked into further?
4 wheelers.
Yes, I would say so. I'm in the works of either inviting the homeowners to our meetings for you all to review if you'd like. Some of them I've just made contact with by sending a letter and haven't heard back quite yet. How would you?
85 Turnpike. I'm trying to.
It's a
I
blue
don't-
house set
That's up past
on
me.
the right. It's
Oh, so you know what it is? Go across the
Haven't-
bridge, stay to the left.
Yeah, I know.
Right at the top of the hill.
I know.
It's that splitting.
I-
And
The one
Split?
that's,
Sits down off the right-hand
Yeah,
side.
okay,
what's going on over there again?
yeah.
Autumn?
Yeah. Possible tree.
trees were
I just
topped
didn't,
within a wetland buffer. So I went over and made contact with the homeowner, knocked on the door and just let
I
him
didn't see
know.
I'll take a ride by tomorrow.
but there were trees that were cut.
There were trees that were cut, the stumps were left, so I let him know, leave the stumps, and
Okay. They just bought that house.
Mhm,
Just,
Wasn't aware.
just
Yeah.
real recently?
Yeah.
yes.
85, okay, so,
But, okay, thank you.
Okay.
And Zero Mason Road possible for driveway.
I don't know, what's Zero Mason Road? Is that just
Is
below the
Zero-
Poor Farm?
That,
Is Zero Mason Road right on the New Hampshire border?
yeah, it's actually off of Michael's Way. So there's a cul-de-sac that's called Michael's Way off
That's
of,
off from Mason, not Greenville.
Right, and that's
Yeah.
what it says.
Oh,
so the
I know you
lot
can't
is,
read right now,
I
but
can't because of my lacerated, whatever they call it.
sorry, Autumn.
that's okay. The lot is on Mason Road, but the driveway that was created without a permit
On
in the wet
Michael's Road.
is off of Michael's Way.
Michael's Way.
Why don't I know what Michael's Way
Going to
is?
Brooks Crossing.
Oh, Brooks
Turn left,
Crossing's
go
on the
across
left.
brook, Go into Brooks Crossing, take a left. That road went up around, it was a cul-de-sac, there was another road off to the left,
Yeah,
it was called Michael's Way. It's a little
Jimmy
short
did that
cul-de-sac.
project.
Correct.
Gotcha, I should know.
Oh, well, no. She's working on it. We're not gonna change anything. Does anyone have any questions or comments or?
I think we're good.
I'll take a peek at the two tomorrow, 85 and Mason.
That's 22.
This is 22 Sauna Road. Jane and her
Mhm.
husband came in last meeting, and so I went to the site today. They will be submitting an NOI
A
soon.
walnut tree right there that's dead,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right off the side of the house.
So
Included.
there's-
Now the one behind it's off the corner, that's in bad shape.
Go ahead, Autumn.
Excuse me.
Yep, so I don't want to spend too much time on it. I just wanted you all to check the site out, the photos that I took.
Did you talk to them today when you took those pictures or?
I did. I went to the site with them. They actually were explaining some of the work that they want to include on the NOI. So
You able to convince them to put the tree removal?
yep,
The
they
NOI?
are going to include it all in one NOI. And I explained to them that the commission will review it and work with them for that.
So is this subject going to be tabled until they submit the NOI?
Yep, I let them know that I was going to pass the photos on to you all, and that the next step would be for them to submit their NOI to us.
And it is in their best interest to keep inclusive to everything on that NOI. Not to deviate and break it out, keep it all on one page, on the same page, whatever. Nice job, Autumn.
Okay, Kevin had to step out for a second. So we can't
I'm
start.
gonna make a little eye patch for him here, so he just, I'll tape it on when he gets back. You'll appreciate
So I'm gonna jump, he would.
that.
I was going to say, can I have one too?
Yes, I can fashion one for you right away.
Nice.
Mhm. With your name too.
So I'm
So
gonna
we-
jump down to 4.2 Earth Month volunteer opportunities.
4.2. Earth Month volunteer opportunities.
Autumn, do you mind?
Not at all. It's the Nashua River Watershed is sharing invasive species removal and tree planting events. There's 8 events in our area. One of them is in Townsend at Adams Dam Park. So just some opportunities that we wanted to share with you in the area.
And those are available on National River Watershed's website.
Yep,
Anyone
they're all-
interested?
And registration is required for most of them, including the event at Adams Dam. So if anyone's
You s-
interested, I can
when you-
register.
What is it gonna be? When you say event, what do you mean by event?
Free labor,
Okay. So I just,
invasive removal and tree planting.
right. I got a spot in town that I can invite people to for an invasive removal party. I'm all
I
about
do
that,
too.
right? Oh,
Right. 4.2 is done. We're gonna go to 2.1, notice of intent, PWB 2024-168. DEP number 308, we do not have the last four. The applicant is David Schaefer, 88 Meadow Road. Project status, the notice of intent application is for the replacement of the driveway culvert within resource area with impacts land underwater, bordering vegetated wetlands and a perennial stream. We do not have, well, we have to open the hearing, and we can go from there. So, someone make a motion to the hearing I just read?
I'll make a motion to open the hearing for the applicant David Schaefer, location 88 Meadow Road. Project status, the notice of intent application is for the replacement of a driveway culvert within a resource area with impacts of land under the water bordering vegetated wetlands and a perennial stream.
We've
Okay.
TWB 2024-168 DEP.
I'm sorry.
308. We do not have the completed DEP numbers, so we have a motion. Do we have and I finished writing motion. Do we have a second?
second,
Roll call vote, please. To open the hearing.
James Drawing present.
James Gates, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
Pat Gemma, yes.
Mr. Schaefer, you are here to discuss this. Again, we do not have a DEP file number, nor do we have their feedback. So we cannot close this hearing tonight, but we can have you present it and discuss it with us. Okay.
Quick question before we start. Do we have, are the DEP numbers coming through?
Whoever's assigned to it.
Okay, but have they been sluggish still, or are we behind?
I
Doesn't
have to look up when this was submitted, but 30 to 45 days. So far this year, everything's been over the.
How long ago was it submitted then?
Bottom?
It was submitted to the DEP after it was submitted to us. I can try and find that exact date. Dave might know better than me because he drove it down there. I think it was for 4/1, and I think we spoke on 4/2.
I did look it up to
Okay,
see how,
all
when
right.
it was processed. It's not,
Just curious as to how far out they've been, that's all. No,
We have
let's
not-
move forward.
yeah, they're usually, they're 4 to 6 weeks, so it
Mhm.
really depends.
4/1.
So I'm
James,
going
would
to-
you like me to
Yes.
read the legal notice for
Yes,
this one?
please. I will.
Okay. Townsend Conservation Commission legal notice for 88 Meadow Road. Pursuant to the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act and the Townsend Wetlands Bylaw, the Townsend Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on Wednesday, April 10th, 2024 at approximately 7:15 p.m. The hearing will be held virtually via Zoom and in person at Town Hall on a notice of intent filed with the Conservation Commission by David Schaefer. The property is located at 88 Meadow Road. The NOI application is for the replacement of a driveway culvert within a resource area. Parties wishing to speak in support of or in opposition to this application may do so at the meeting or in writing prior to the meeting. Copies of this application are available for review at Town Hall during business hours.
Autumn, did you have a chance to cross-reference the others list?
Dave has it with him He said he was gonna bring the receipts with him tonight to the meeting.
Green cards?
Not green cards, I hand delivered.
Oh,
and
nice.
Left them with a copy of the notice and I haven't signed it.
So you have all of what, 2?
There's 4 of them there. I believe.
Okay,
We got 2 on each.
3/20/24. Okay, Jimmy. Karina. No doubt about that. I did not know we lost her.
Yeah, one of the properties is listed for Ed and Mary West. You guys know the West?
Quite well.
Virginia West, her daughter signed up.
Right, Ed has since,
Best.
correct, that was,
They both have
They
passed.
both are no longer with us.
yeah, at least I was up to date on that.
Virginia is where? She
So let's keep going.
She's staying at the house.
Mr. Schaefer, do you have any other questions to ask before we start? Okay, Pat, Kevin, okay. Mr. Schaefer, if you don't mind, giving us an overview of the project and what, work was completed.
Sure. Last September, we had a major rainfall event of about 5.5 inches. And the bottom of the culvert washed out, deposited sediment downstream. There was a dimpling in the driveway.
Mhm.
I went out and I purchased a culvert. Before doing anything, I requested an emergency certification from the Conservation Commission to move forward. Each time it rained, it was washing out more sediment.
Mhm.
And the commission could not issue an emergency certification at the time. I attended the Conservation Commission meeting on September 27th, I believe. And the commission voted to, if I honestly felt it was a true emergency, that I could move forward.
Mhm.
And I've been working on pulling together the NOI and a 401 water quality cert for DEP. Here we are.
We had a site walk this afternoon at 3:00.
Yes. When was the work completed?
Between the 14th and 17th of November, I believe, are the appropriate dates.
Let's see.
Mhm.
So according to the lookup, the notice of intent lookup, we can look at statuses, and obtain the notice of intent numbers. They have not put this into the system. So I don't know how delayed it is or when you dropped it off, but, that was a question that was asked and that's the answer. During our meeting in September, it was requested that after the culvert was replaced, that you would submit a notice of intent within 30 days.
Yes.
And with the understanding that it was a month and a half between you attending our meeting and the work being completed, taking into account that time and the additional month that was given to you post completion of the project to submit the notice of intent, it was not done, and the commission started to issue fines for noncompliance. Is that correct, Autumn? Jessica?
Yes, that's accurate.
With the understanding that the fines would stop accruing once the notice of intent was submitted, correct? Autumn is shaking her head, yes. Autumn, when did you receive the notice of intent?
That was stamped in, it was first received as a partial application. So the stamp and date, it should be right on the front of the site plan. I believe it was March 27th, but it wasn't completed for,
7th.
I believe 2 weeks after that. We were waiting on the check for the Townsend bylaws. And so, yeah, I
Okay,
think
so
it was
it
partially
was 2 weeks.
submitted.
It
Yeah,
was 2 weeks later.
yep.
Actually, Autumn, the receipt that I have
Mhm.
indicates not March 22nd, but February 22nd.
February 22nd. Okay.
I have February 22nd on this check.
Okay. It's noted.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Dave.
There's actually two checks, 2/28/24, 2/22/24.
Okay. Either way, it's not a,
Yep,
Yeah,
we will,
the first check was the standard NOI fee, and
Correct.
Autumn indicated that there was also a Conservation Commission check due for under the bylaw.
under the,
So I came back and I gave her the check
okay,
under the bylaw.
within 4 days.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay.
Autumn, what were the fines that were accrued during the time, and what were the dates that they, that they were
Okay.
assessed?
Okay, we
Do you
have
that?
what was that?
Do you have that information?
Yeah, I have the amounts that were issued and the ticket numbers. I can get you the exact dates when Dave received them, but the total is at 4,500. There were a total of 12 tickets, starting back on December 14th, which was 30 days after completion.
The work was completed? When was the last one?
Looks like it was issued. Let me find out. Give me 1 minute for that.
Mhm. 4.
March 1st was when it was issued. So I think the check was submitted on February 28th, and then it was just the site plan that was lingering for a completed application. At that point, we stopped fining once the application fee was accepted and processed on that Monday.
That stopped on the partial for the NOI,
Well,
Autumn?
We stopped fining as we were just waiting on a last minute
completion.
item. Yeah, so he had most of it submitted and was making a very good effort. So
For the adjustments of it. Okay.
You need this?
yes,
You will need those?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know if you wanted the green, not these. Wanted to
No,
make
these
sure.
are, yeah, these are hand delivered and signed for, so
Right,
we need them for our records. I assume you have a copy of it.
do you have copies?
I do.
Okay, very good, thank you.
So obviously we cannot close on this tonight. The work is done. It was essentially just an in-kind replacement. We do not have DEP's, comments as well, so there will be further discussion. Part of my concern is there is a total fine that needs to be, paid. We were very upfront in, what we were requesting and required for this. And it was in the meeting that we had, where Mia McDonald from DEP attended and outlined why the emergency certificate could not be issued, which again, straightforward upfront. It's something that has been abused in the past and it has to be utilized carefully. So we have a total fine of $4,500 that we will have to figure out. But again,
Is that going to be open to be discussed at the next meeting? The
it's
fine?
open to be discussed now if we wanted it to be. It's part of this
Yes, sir.
matter. So we can discuss it now, or we can wait for DEP comment.
I do have a question.
Yes, sir.
The reply we are waiting for from DEP, what level are we waiting to hear it from? It's
We're
not
waiting-
gonna come from me, obviously.
I don't know who it's gonna come from. The way it seems is they're sorted out,
Okay,
to whomever within their department. We're waiting for basic feedback and permit number issuance.
right. So wouldn't it be prudent for us to wait for our full
I think it would be, but I didn't
amount
wanna,
of comment from DEP before we can move forward in good?
Well, in my
Speak,
opinion,
Kevin.
I think it would be, let's try to get the DEP number. I feel bad for everything that's happened because of my comment when Mr. Schaefer was back, and I can't get past it, was, he had an elderly mother-in-law living at his house
Mhm.
and a compromised pipe. And all my thoughts is when you call emergency medical services, the first thing you end up with is an ambulance and a 40-something thousand pound truck.
You get the full complement,
And,
God bless them.
And if, say that 40,000 pound truck comes in behind that ambulance, rolls in the driveway. Now they're trying to pick up his elderly mother and mother-in-law. This 40,000 pound fire truck's rolling down the driveway, and the pipe is compromised, as it clearly was. Fire truck is in there, now the ambulance can't get out, or vice versa. Say the ambulance is behind the rescue vehicle. Now that they're trying to get this poor elderly woman across the driveway, across the compromised pipe into the ambulance to get her aid and care at the hospital. I voted to have Mr. Schaefer in emergency circumstances, repair the pipe.
We all did,
I'm
Kevin.
in the business,
We all
I
did.
understand it, I've seen it 100 times.
Yes, sir.
There are circumstances where that must be done. However, Mr. Schaefer didn't do his due diligence after the fact. I'm stymied at this point. I don't know what to say.
And I completely understand where you're
We're gonna
coming from.
we're gonna continue this meeting.
Mhm.
Obviously, we're gonna have to. We're gonna have a DP number. We can act on it.
And there's gonna be a discussion of waiver.
And,
You know,
let's see
other
what we can do.
variables to this.
Let's see what we can do to help Mr.
Hold on.
Schaefer. But whatever, moving forwards. Mr. Chair.
Well said. Pat, do you have anything to add to either?
Not now, no.
Jimmy, do you have anything else to add?
Kevin did an eloquent job of bringing, his comments forward. I do not differ far from anything he just said. And you know who we are and how we are about working with people in town. But the fact remains,
Mr. Schaefer, do you have anything you'd like to add? And then I'll ask if there's anyone in the public that would like to add anything.
No, I thank the commission for going through the NOI, and I guess we're into a continuance.
No, if anyone else has anything to add. Autumn, do you have anything to add? Maybe, I don't know if Jessica has anything to add. She isn't involved as much, but she was handled the beginning of everything. So, Autumn?
I have more questions related to the site plan and things like that, so I can hold those until next meeting if you want to discuss once you get the DEP's comments.
Thank you.
I feel that it would be pertinent to discuss, or for you to say those questions so that if there are changes required, Mr. Schaefer can do that prior to the next meeting.
Okay. I was looking at USGS maps and at the application, and I was coming up with the stream in front of his house possibly being perennial. You guys can look deeper into that and see what you think. And then also the site plan does not have.
I don't believe it is. I believe it's an intimate stream.
Yep.
Intimate stream. On this town, I've been in this town all my life, and I've walked most of the land.
And then,
So,
Hold on. Autumn, yes, go ahead.
and my second note was that there is no professional engineer stamp on the site plans, and the Towns and Wetlands bylaw requires that, or in the absence of that, a waiver could be submitted to the Conservation Commission. If
Requesting that.
I'd vote to request a waiver.
Well, that's for him to
Right.
provide us with, and we can vote on it if Mr. Schaefer wishes to do that. And if you do wish to do that, if you submit it in writing to Autumn.
Explaining your background for the last 40 years as well, your documentation.
Autumn, do you know what the criteria is for USGS to mark their GIS streams?
That's a great question. I do not know what they're using to determine what a perennial stream is and what isn't. I just know what the DEP uses.
Okay, so
Some of that would go back to cold water fisheries information. That's where you can obtain a lot of that.
okay. Did you hear what Jimmy said? Hold on.
I may.
Hold on a second. Autumn, did you hear what Jimmy said?
No, I just heard cold water fisheries.
Some of that information can be obtained through the cold water fisheries they do a pretty good job on keeping them updated as to where they stand in that, so. And I believe it will not fall into that criteria. But I still would do your due diligence on that to find out as such.
Okay.
Autumn, you
Excuse me.
Said that-
Excuse me.
what does Mass DEP define a perennial stream as?
I believe it is the watershed is less, if it's less than half a square mile and it doesn't show up on a USGS map as perennial, then it would be considered intermittent.
But the GIS is referenced in the WPA.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Schaefer.
I think I can help straighten that out.
Oh, good.
The base map that I used is the base map off of Mass Mapper that contains the parcel general base map. And you'll see that roughly at the 35 feet away, there is a solid blue line. That's the DEP reference. That was delineated based on 100 scale DEM mapping. And it's about 35 feet off. The actual stream channel based on the 1 foot contours that you see is quite a ways further south of the DEP delineation. Again, it's a difference between looking at 1 foot contours or looking at the 100 digital elevation model input that was used by DEP. The Stream Stats program by the USGS actually identifies what percentage of whether or not a stream is intermittent, and I think they assign this less than 20% probability that this would be perennial.
Okay, so I think,
And well, in terms of drainage area, we're looking at 57.5 acres, not 320, which is half a square mile.
That's what, yeah.
So we're looking at 57.5. Based on my observations, it's intermittent. It dries out in the summer.
And you would know this is your property.
Yeah.
You're, intimate with it as far as that
No, I think,
constant.
I think I needed to clarify, I think for Autumn, that there is a blue line and you can't erase it. It's a delineation based on a different scale, digital elevation model. And you simply can't erase it from their website. So that's why there's a blue line that appears.
So it
But
May I
is.
make a comment to that, please?
yes, go ahead.
Yes,
Go
Can I
ahead,
help
Jessica.
out? I just downloaded the latest USGS topographic quadrangle for that area, which is the 2021 map. And that stream that flows through your property is mapped, but it is it's like a dash dot dot pattern. So I found the USGS map legend, and when it's a solid blue line, it signifies perennial, and when it's a dash dot dot, it signifies intermittent. So as long as the USGS map has it mapped as an intermittent stream, I believe that is how DEP follows through with it.
It is. It is intermittent, as we surmised on the sidewalk.
Thank you, Jessica, for chiming in.
Thanks, Jessica.
Autumn, thank you. Oh, well, Dave,
Thank
do you
you,
have
Autumn.
anything else you would like to? Or, actually, sorry, Autumn, you had 2 questions. Were there any more?
No, that's all.
Thank you. Jessica, do you have any other questions or comments?
I do not. I have not had a chance to review this application.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you,
I
Jessica.
just know you had, you were there at the beginning of it all, so. Mr. Schaefer, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Not unless anyone else has any other questions.
Yeah, no, so we need a,
I'm good to
I
be
have
further.
none.
More. If we need more, to go on,
well, yeah, we
you
need the feedback, so I motion
Correct.
to,
next
continue
meeting.
this hearing to, yeah, I'll say the next meeting, April 24th.
4/24,
Yes,
so it is.
for notice of intent TWB 2024-168 DEP, number 308.
Adjournment.
Rest to be determined.
Would it be in our best
Schaefer.
interest to go further than 4/24 and hope for DEP numbers
I
to
was
come
gonna say,
through.
that might be pushing it. You may not get a DP number by then.
That's why I'm wondering, would we want to jump?
I agree with Jimmy.
Let's get as many ducks into the pen as we
Autumn,
can.
what's the first meeting of May?
That's gonna be the second week in May, which is the 8th.
5/8.
So,
Can we leave 424 open
no,
if in hopes of the DEP number to come in?
then I would have
And
to continue it to
Two after that.
that date. and
So
then-
let's go with 5/8/24 then for the next meeting. Right?
Yes,
And that way, we at least we'll have some degree of, that we're gonna have our DEP numbers.
a higher chance.
Five, so the five what?
5/8.
5/8.
So
Oh,
I made a motion to go to, continue to April 24th. I retract that, where I make a motion to continue the hearing for David Schaefer, 88 Meadow Road, TWB 2024-168, DEP number to be determined. Continue it to May 8th, 2024 at approximately 7:15 PM, unless if Autumn or Jessica tell me otherwise. They didn't tell me otherwise, so approximately 7:15.
So moved.
So. Second,
I'll second it.
roll call vote, please.
James Duran, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Kevin Smith,
yes.
Okay, Jamal, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Schaefer.
Thank you, sir.
oh, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
See you
Appreciate
on the
your time
24th.
today at the site walk. and we'll
Nope,
see
the
you
8th, May 8th.
May 8th. 24th.
Sorry, I
didn't give us
retracted
the
that. May
time
8th.
Yeah, 24th didn't work.
as far
We
as us
extended out
getting
to
the
May 8th.
DEP number, and we wanted to make sure at our
We'd
next
have our
I
meeting,
apologize.
Nope,
I wrote down
we would have made
April
sure.
24th. Okay, May 8th. All right.
Yes, 5/8/24, 7:15, same place, same station.
Sorry about that.
Nope.
I'm glad
Same
you
time,
corrected
same
me.
time, same channel.
I would have been here at, on the 24th. I was busy
We
writing.
would have been too, but we would have told you, not today, but we're good. Now we've got we've got the information
Okay,
there.
thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You all set with this, James?
I was wondering, what are you doing, Jimmy?
Putting things away. We don't need it on the table. We're done.
3.1, RDA TWB 2024-169, 25 Worcester Road.
Mhm.
We discussed this at the last meeting. This is essentially a retroactive RDA for some tree clearing. Autumn, do you mind reading the legal ad, please?
I don't mind. This is the legal ad for RDA at 25 Worcester Road. Pursuant to Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act and the Townsend Wetlands Bylaw, the Townsend Conservation Commission will hold a work session on Wednesday, April 10th, 2024 during their 7 PM meeting. This work session will be held virtually via Zoom meeting and in person at the town hall on a request of determination of applicability filed with the Conservation Commission by Kristen Valaire. The property is located at 25 Worcester Road for possible land clearing and vegetation removal within 100 feet of a bordering vegetated wetland. Parties wishing to speak in support of or in opposition to this application may do so at the meeting or in writing prior to the meeting. Copies of this application are available for review at Town Hall during business hours.
We're here, sorry.
We're here, by the way. I don't know if you can see that.
I actually can this time.
Oh, okay, okay.
Do you have the pictures?
Yes,
that
I
were
do.
sent? Do you mind sharing those, please?
Sure.
Does someone else want a screen share?
Yep.
I think it's just Autumn.
Okay. All right. I see it now. Okay. Thank you.
Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right. Wait this.
There we go.
Let me just. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I just have some images that were sent over recently that I'd like to bring up. Here they are. Okay, here's the recently submitted site plan. Can you see it on your screen?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay. I'll just zoom in a little bit, let you check it out, and then we can move along.
Okay. How about
This
the
looks-
pictures? I had those in there somewhere.
There we go.
Here's a picture of some of the debris that this was this type of thing that they were cleaning up from the backyard. Here's the straw wattles that they so nicely installed. More debris. There's just a breakdown of the cost for.
We just didn't know if we used the right stuff. We just want to make sure.
Yep.
Nice job staking them in.
outstanding.
All right. So I know we discussed this last week, but because this is the actual appointment, it's best to, we kind of have to go through it again. But this area was cleaned up a lot of trash, that was there, prior to you moving in and purchasing the property. And you're just trying to clean up the property and make it look good. What are your plans for this area when you're done? Again,
Moving forward.
I know you've already discussed it with us.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah,
It's frustrating. We're not trying to be frustrating. But we do have to go through it.
I guess my first question is did we do that drawing right? Sorry, I just want to make sure we did that right, so that we know, because we were like trying to figure out
it
what
works.
we're allowed to touch.
No,
Yeah,
it
It
works.
demonstrates,
It works.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
It's
So-
okay.
Yeah, I
Homeowner
tried to use
quality.
that website. I think that was right. But basically just maybe some wildflowers. That's really it.
beautiful.
So you create a pollinator area.
Yeah.
Do you know can you tell what kind of soil is still, or is there now that
Yeah,
you've cleared
so
it?
the whole
Loamy, is
lot, the whole lot is pretty much. We use the mix that we wanted to use back there, all over the lot, like in the front and like where that arbor is that you can see, and it's pretty much all sand. So we got a mix that would grow well in the sand, and it's done pretty well. So we didn't really have to buy anything else. Yeah, so up by that arbor, there's probably cone flowers, black-eyed Susans.
Okay.
So it fills in pretty good with it's all sand pretty much, and it fills in pretty good.
And it's a pine dense area, so it's probably a high acidity out there, so putting lime in there is gonna be beneficial to it, et cetera, et cetera.
If you want low maintenance, that's pretty much what we're about.
Okay.
Kevin, you had something?
That's that low area, there's a bunch of kind of old hole and some other debris.
Yeah, that was where there's
Yeah.
a picture where there was like a hole from
Yeah,
where they had dumped stuff. That's where we were talking about putting fill.
yeah,
Mhm.
So without,
So, and that's not to say they can't do soil improvement, and if they want to put a garden out there, if they want to go a little bit more, there's nothing to say they can't do that.
well, we gotta get out, they should.
No,
they should
we don't want to go
restore-
any
they should
closer to that.
restore that area and they should
Okay.
get back outside the 100.
yeah, but and it's gonna be, they wanna naturalize with wildflowers.
So, perfect, put in a
But
soil
putting-
mix.
You know, putting in soil,
Yeah.
I understand, and it'd be,
There's a lot of different plant life you can put in there that'll be compatible to that soil.
Well, there was that low area that was an old hole that was there
Mhm.
that really, you know, a couple of.
Yeah, we're not. So that section
so
that you're
but we
showing on the
can't be
screen.
bringing in, because this is a request for a determination of applicability,
Mhm.
That's right.
we need to keep in mind that.
We're not going to fill in anything like that picture. We're not going to.
No, look, I'm gonna protect you here.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
So we need to remember, this isn't a situation without filing the proper paperwork that you'd be able to be, filling, any areas that close to the wetland. And I know it's seasonal. I know those pictures were just taken, so it's very unfortunate.
Right.
We timed, because I know when we were there in February, there was no water back there.
Yeah, and if you look at the pictures, there from like what started this whole thing, there was even further back than then.
But with that said, there's still soils through there that are conducive to wetlands and plant life and everything. So I think seeding over what you have there, disposing of that brush properly, would do that area. It would be a vast improvement.
Mhm.
And obviously it's worked on the rest of your property with the seed mix you've chosen. Does anyone else have questions or comments?
Mhm.
So Autumn,
Yes.
do you have any other questions or comments?
I would just recommend that the area be stabilized before the straw wattles are removed.
Okay,
Well said.
so, you have to we don't have the paperwork to sign tonight for this?
No, we don't.
Okay.
Okay.
So what are you recommending for this?
Special condition that the disturbed area to be stabilized.
And a -3 determination?
Yes.
So I make a motion, that we issue a, -3 determination for 25 Worcester Road, for clearing and removal of brush and cleanup of trash, with the special condition of stabilizing it, vegetating and stabilizing the areas disturbed, before removing any of the straw wattle.
There you go.
Do we have a second?
Second that.
Pat seconded. Roll call vote.
James Drowan, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
Pat Gemma, yes.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Autumn, you'll put together the paperwork for us to sign and let them know when it's ready?
Yes.
Will that go to the 424 meeting for the signing, or can we come into the office?
Whenever she lets you know it's ready.
Yeah, I'll let you know when it's ready. And then I can mail it over to the property owners, so they don't have to come by the office if that works for them.
Oh, nice.
Thank you
You're
so
so
much.
very accommodating.
welcome.
Thank you. Moving on.
Happy spring.
3.2 site plan update, 50 Sauna Road. Mr. Becker is here to discuss. Do you mind coming up to the table and just giving us an overview of what you know? Autumn, I assume you talked to Mr. Becker about the fee and any paperwork associated?
Yes, I believe I sent that email out today.
Okay, I'll come back for the fee. Didn't know that, sorry. But yeah, so we're still trying to get a contractor to do the sauna, the septic and the well. I think we have one selected for both. The well guy described his well truck as being like the size of a fire truck. And the place where they put the dot for the well, you can't maneuver the truck over to that site. It's behind the propane tank. So I'm trying to get the propane tank removed, but that's a separate thread that's probably months away. So there's right next to the driveway, there is a path that kind of wraps around the property, but he still can't maneuver to that hole. He needs a little bit more wiggle room. So he's asked for that one tree. There's actually a large rock there and some brush. If that's cleared and kind of flattened out, then he can get the truck right to that spot. And yeah, I did a crude.
Is that the one you guys have? I can look at it when
Do you
it's
have a
shape.
copy?
We're
Do you
good.
want-
We're good.
Right.
And on the
And there's
tree,
the,
rock, brush. How well did you display that? That's a beautiful job. It's good. I like that.
So it's a flat area that we already have an order of conditions. Well, that's the 200.
yeah, it's just 10 feet on the wrong side of the 200 line.
And where's the propane tank again? Right there.
Right.
That is, okay.
Yeah, so the well is supposed to be on the other side of the.
order conditions on the site.
Right, but it was for area over here, not over here.
Right.
So we can amend that.
Just amend it and give them, I can see the need.
Right.
That's straightforward.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, I mean, due to the conditions, you don't want to get that thing buried out there.
No.
That's a,
No, sometimes you don't know until you get into it.
right.
Autumn,
Right,
do you
right.
have can you please, tell us what we need for this?
If you could vote on if you'd like to accept the changes, then we can put that on file with the order of conditions. It would be something in our files in the office. Or it would be on.
Simple motion to amend.
Yeah.
So, well, hold on.
Yeah, wait a minute, get it all together before you go with it.
Does this need to be re-recorded in the registry of deeds?
I am not sure, but I would say no. It
Make
needs,
sure.
yeah, Jessica's shaking her head no.
I'll add some clarification. You guys used the word amend. That is actually a formal process with an order of conditions and not the same as a minor modification. So an amended order of conditions does need to get recorded. This is a minor. So what we've done in the past is just issue like a little memo of findings and your motion and everything to the applicant. And then we also keep a copy on file at the office.
Thank you.
So that means no worry about anything going to the,
Nope.
okay.
It's a minor change.
It's a minor
So it's
change.
not an amendment
It's a minor change to the approved.
due to the
order of
fact of
conditions.
location.
Yeah. Make a motion for that, Jim.
Yeah.
So I, does anyone else want to?
I'm good.
Anything to add?
I'm good.
No.
And the tank is gonna get moved, tree removed, rock removed, brush removed. So those are the 4 points of,
That tank is going to be removed at some point.
The tank,
Yeah.
the propane, yeah, we don't have that propane anymore.
so it's gonna be
So
removed.
is that?
That's why I
part of
wanted to
this
make sure
request?
we know it's gone. It's gonna be removed. It's not.
It can be. It's going to be.
Yes, I think it needs, wasn't aware it needed to be, so yeah, yes, that is gonna get removed, yes.
We need that in verbiage. So we know that's gonna be removed
So-
with that.
I make a motion to accept the minor changes. I don't have the exact DEP number, but it's for Mr. Robert and Lisa Becker.
So,
Sauna, 50 Sauna Road, Townsend, for changes regarding to access to the proposed well area and removal of.
one tree, rock, and.
Yep, and then removal of a propane tank during the
Construction.
project.
Which will, the line will once again go dead, because you're not gonna be utilizing propane for heat or anything of the, so the propane tank is being removed and the line.
The lines are all I forget the
I
word.
guess
we
what do
use.
you,
Non-conformant or they're,
they're gonna be abandoned.
well, they have to get ripped out, the copper underground.
Oh,
Right, that's stuff we worry about, that stuff.
decommissioned and removed.
And
Okay.
so eloquently stated, Mr. Smith, appreciate you.
Decommissioned and removed.
And
All right.
associated accessories.
That's outstanding.
The motion, including what Kevin stated, do we have a second?
I will second that.
Roll call vote. please.
James Drouin, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Kevin Smith.
Pat Genel, yes.
Thank you.
Autumn will send you,
That one's colored, but there's black and white.
I'll keep the color one for myself, just because you. did
Autumn will
such a
be in
good
touch
job.
with you, in the next week or so to, again, we have to keep the chatter or the private conversations, even though we all can do it. To just one.
Do you need this back, or can I keep it?
You can keep that. Autumn made us copies. Move on. 809. 4.1, Unitil selective foliage treatment. Autumn, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You mind going over this letter with us, regarding the, treatment plan?
Yep. The Unitil sends over every year the areas, the right of ways, the power lines in which they're going to be treating and spraying selectively herbicides. So that would be a concern for us on the Conservation Commission, and I'd like to share the maps. You have the maps in the folder there. There should be a 4-page, fold out. There it is. And it
Of their
shows
spray.
the pathways.
All on work, ain't it?
Yes, it is. There's several maps, so
Yeah, I was gonna
there's
say.
not multiple copies.
Which, are we isolating on one particular area that we're looking at?
So
Or
it's an annual maintenance plan.
everything in the pink is gonna be an application?
Well, nope, everything is in pink is national heritage.
Variety
Okay.
habitat.
I already have
Right,
that.
okay,
So areas in orange are the treatment areas.
These are the power lines, Jimmy, the main lines
right.
going. Well, actually, one of them's the one up the substation by you.
Can you show the Pat?
Yeah.
This is a different map than.
Over
Jim was looking at,
across
but-
the street.
So this is
from
an
me.
annual thing.
This-
Yeah,
this is-
We've seen it before.
This is an overview. map.
Mhm.
Top
Autumn, did you
towns.
review any of the,
This would be.
hold on, Pat and Kevin are looking this over.
This orange line would be, as a power line,
Mhm.
if you have several in town, you have one not far behind your house. And what they do is annually they come in, they have different areas, they do different spraying or trimming.
Mhm.
Sometimes they'll come in with like an excavator kind of a thing with a big mower on it. And then what they'll do is they'll go in and they'll trim the brush. There's some areas that high ground.
But they are going to be using a particular,
Yeah, but
is it a defoliant? What is the MSDS on it is what I'd be concerned about.
right, and I was hoping,
I mean, I think Unitil should have some degree of, talking to us about this. Some ability to make sure some of the
Yeah.
beekeepers are aware of this. Due to some of the neonicotines as to how it can cause trouble with our bees. We've been there, done that with this conversation years ago.
This is Howard Street, Normanburg.
Mhm.
Comes out,
Jim,
comes out on.
I don't know,
13.
she,
do you mind introducing yourself just?
yeah, I mean, when.
You can come up and,
Finish, but,
So-
I came because I wanted to. see
yes,
some of these
I did, and
issues. So if you want.
this is in the correspondence, but I wanna hear, we all wanna hear what you have to say.
Thank you, but yeah, I want to hear what you have to say, then I run my big mouth.
Pat, Kevin, right up to speed.
Yes, yeah.
Autumn, do you know what they're planning on utilizing in order to,
They gotta submit an MSDS.
no,
on
I'm
this.
just
Okay.
asking if she knew.
I'm not sure exactly what chemical they're using or herbicide, but in sensitive areas, they will be using mechanical means of removing the vegetation opposed to spraying, and they are requesting that community members that have wells nearby or bees or anything sensitive to remove them now. It says here, Commonwealth of Massachusetts recommends herbicides for use, Commonwealth use sensitive areas listed in section 7, page 15. Okay.
I don't have.
Yeah,
a 15
so-
document.
Mm-mm.
Alls I was,
Okay.
yeah.
We're
Yeah,
listening.
so I'm not sure what herbicide exactly they're using, but
I am not inclined to let them move forward with it until the herbicide product has been made clear to us.
Along with the specs.
The MSDS manufacturer,
Correct.
whatever cautions that it accompanies, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm most of them,
They're limited to what they can use today.
and they're watched closely too.
Yes.
They're watched very
Label is,
closely. I
label
will-
is
They
law.
can't use Agent Orange or anything like that.
I know.
It's kind of a low grade Roundup type of stuff.
So I know someone, Ms. King wanted to speak. You can sit at the table, you can sit there, it's your choice. If you don't mind introducing yourself.
Join us.
But did she sign in? So if she's not signed in,
The sign-in is only for the public hearing.
I know we can play technical. Go ahead.
You said your piece.
Amen, James.
Okay, first I want to say I want to thank you for letting me chat with you on this thing. I was looking at, first I want to explain, what made me want to come here. I was reading the agenda a couple days ago for your meeting, which I usually do for most of the different board meetings, and I saw this piece of correspondence. And to follow up with what this Jim said, I'm a new beekeeper this year, and I haven't even picked up my bees yet. I'll be picking them up on the 22nd. So as a new beekeeper, we kind of freak out on everything. So, and that's what made me say, oh my gosh, I got to find out what this is about. So I did a public records request, got the documentation that you have. And so that was my first concern about this was what are they spraying? And it's already, there's so many things that can kill bees, it's frightening. But then as I looked further into it and looking, there's in your cover letter from Unitil, there's the 2 files that's on there. There's links on there, and I did download those. And one is the 5-year plan for doing this type of work. And the other is the 20, which starts this year. And the other one is the YOP yearly operational plan for 2024, which was initiated in January, that covers all the questions that you just had about what chemicals they're gonna use and where. It's quite extensive. It gives the MDAR, the data sheets are all in that documentation. So if you haven't looked at it, it's really interesting reading if you're into that, which you should be. So that I
We
even
call
have.
those rabbit holes.
I mean, if anybody that should be interested in those documents, it's you guys. But I really, I mean, my concerned citizen moved from beyond bees even, but there's a lot of things that, I mean, I'm not privy to everything that you guys do on a daily basis and your all the knowledge that you all have. But some of the things that stood out to me was the private wells, that on the cover letter, it asks for updates, that the reason that they're corresponding with you is to ask for those updates on particularly private wells. And it was interesting to me, you know, that they're not allowed to spray within so many feet of private wells, and that private well owners can register with NDAR. I found that buried in I think the 5-year plan, that private well owners can register with DAR so that anytime there is some kind of spraying
that.
or
they
any
can
other thing, you know,
notified
if you're on a
of
right of way, that you're a private well owner, that you can register with DAR so that you're.
That's a very, very important thing.
Yeah.
And that's something that, I don't know, we really should try to get out to the general public.
Also, no different than some of the areas that are protected, some of our aquifer areas for our water runs. Those are crucial to it. Timing of spraying is crucial to it, especially with people that are beekeepers. They don't tend to want to spray at night. Well, sometimes these things need to be done after the bees are in bed. You know, there's a lot of variables to it. That's why I would like to see these people front and center.
And to add to, you know, the research that I've done in the last couple of days, I brought my laptop with me so that I could continue reading, because there's a lot to read, so I wanted to read while I was waiting.
There is a lot.
And there is, one thing that also stands out is that was apparently, all this was, they said in the letter that they sent this to you guys, or to everybody, I guess, in February, and I don't know. I'm not complaining at all or accusing anyone of anything, but I don't know if you should have had these plans already a couple months ago and then, you know, to look it over, but they're kind of letting you know, hey, this has already been approved because you didn't stop us. Or you didn't respond when you could have, or whatever, but I mean, Unitil's just telling and informing you that, and then the dates on there, basically running. The rest of this, there's no specific dates, and that concerns me as a beekeeper, and I think it should concern anybody that's going to be anywhere near any of the spraying.
Did you,
that it's gonna basically all year, right through to Christmas.
yeah, May 1st.
There's no specific date on when they're gonna spray what.
Okay.
And that concerns me, and just as that concerned citizen, if some way that can be narrowed down a little bit, so that people that do have concerns for whatever reason, even if it's their imagination, to find out, you know, when is this happening in this area. And to add to the beekeeper thing, bees travel over 2 miles to get to their pollen. So, and I know I'm not the only new beekeeper this year in Townsend, that I've been just noticing beehives popping up all over the place because everybody's picking up their bees this month. And so there's a lot of new beekeepers that just don't know this and don't know this is happening. And, you know, in all of our training that we, you know, this worrying about pesticides and herbicides is very concerning. But to move from bees and water, well, to stay on water a little bit, just today, another concern, as the last couple of days have gone on, I've become more and more concerned about this, that today it was in the press that the EPA has tightened up the PFAS regulations even more. So the PFAS is a bigger concern today than it had been up until now, and we've been really in a pickle on PFAS. And thankfully, I mean, with everything that's in the news today, literally today, with requirements for municipalities to act on this. I'm really just, again, as a concerned citizen, so grateful for our water department for having moved ahead and gotten that plan in. Thank God. And
Yes.
we're so far
For
ahead of the
being in
game.
this
But
area.
this concerns me about, can Unitil be addressed on, okay, what's is there anything that you're using that is gonna fall into the PFAS category yet again? And put
That
us-
hasn't
put it
completely
behind-
reared its ugly head, and the DEP's just starting to get their breath on it, because
Well,
it's
yeah.
presenting itself in some
Mhm.
very concerning manners. Enough said.
Well, here's a fun fact. The state of New Hampshire has a budget line item for replacing wells along state roads.
Now, another thing, I've been there,
Massachusetts does too.
Do they?
getting back to one point, I've been there, done that with Unitil. I've called them to the table before, due to some of their lightly presented, information. We can get them here.
So we don't need to vote on this. We can agree. Hopefully Autumn and Jessica can assist in this, but request their presence at,
The meeting.
one of the next few meetings.
Yep. And this is gonna be some of the stuff when we get the agriculture commission up and running, that we'll grab onto a
So-
lot of this stuff too.
And the state, the comment period, first, the first certified letter was February 1st. Second one was 27th.
From Unitil?
Yes,
Jimmy?
yes.
Okay. And that's not so.
The close, but hold on. The comment period ended, close of business Friday, March 22nd.
Comment time can be opened up again. They can't dictate that.
So noted. So this is in correspondence, so we can't go in too much, go too far down that rabbit hole. And I want to thank Ms. King for coming to
And
discuss this.
thank you for
And I hope that
taking
you
this
can
all
return,
seriously. Yeah.
to come back when they're here, so we can ask those questions. Because it is our drinking water, even if it's not town water, it's people's drinking water, it's animals drinking water, and, there's other ways, that can be discussed. So, Autumn, can you reach out to, Chris Moltrup, Manager of Forestry Operations, with the Unitil, to invite him to either the next meeting or maybe the meeting after, if that doesn't work for him?
Yes, I would recommend that we gather if there's anyone that has a concern that's near right of way or that would like to register their well or their beehive, to provide me with that information, and I can
This is town water.
I can invite them
Oh,
to our
yeah.
next meeting, but I also would like to bring forward the questions of what chemicals are being used and do they include PFAS? And I'd like to share any registered locations with him right away. So if you have that
Do you
information.
have an idea of how you would like to circulate that information to the public? Or those requests, or
I think that
you
right
don't have to
now,
go into detail, but if you have an idea.
currently I don't have an idea other than the form right now of on TV and via YouTube, just because we don't have a Facebook page or I'm not sure how I could do that, but I think people should reach out to me that would like to have something registered. I could be Townsend's point of contact in that way.
Okay, Pat?
I'm sorry, what about the paper for Townsend? A lot of people pick that up.
Uh,
The
I'd
Voice
recommend
or something?
doing a press release
yes.
and
I
putting
was
it out, and then it can be recirculated. Like,
on-
those of us in the community that have an interest can get our hands on that press release.
And we can put
And
it
we
on the,
can do social media.
and we put it on the town website.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I was gonna recommend, we could actually put the registration on, with a link on the website, but it also, it won't work if nobody knows to go there.
Yeah.
So another suggestion I would do is use highway signs. and have those flash for a week or something.
I'm not just, yeah,
And
if,
have them flash, foliage coming, register, or something. It's very limited what you can put on the sign, so you'll have to get creative, but that does bring a lot of attention to what you're trying to do.
That'll get people paid.
so, Autumn, do you think that in the next, we probably want to get out there sooner rather than later, but, can you come up with, Jimmy, you started to say, wait till the first week of May?
Well, yeah, let's see what information and what
Responses.
response we get from Unitil with the nudge. See if they're gonna respond. They need to come to the table. We've called them to the table before.
So
They'll
Autumn,
demonstrate a degree of reluctancy, but guess what? That's easy to get around.
What is
Some
the,
sensitive areas there, that one.
so
power
the
line
only
is
thing
right
is
through the
they do start treatment
water
May 1st.
department.
Then they need to make sure that they notify people of the time too. Timing with these sprayings is just as important. I had to coordinate spraying with Steve at the other fields when we had the hives at the barn, at the house.
So it's
We
a
had 12
21
hives
days.
sitting there and we've got certain times he was spraying and I would shut him down and he would respond immediately. The farmers need to work with Unitil and Unitil has to work with the farmers.
And you got other issues
You
here
wipe out
too.
12 hives, you're looking at a lot of money.
You got other issues here too. This one
On
power
Battery
line
Road?
runs right through the water department.
On Battery Road?
Crosses Old Battery Road, runs right through
Because
the middle of the
that
backfield.
particular property,
Yeah.
it was bought years ago by the Conservation Commission
Well,
for
no, it's
the aquifers.
Water department land. Then you turn
Correct.
around and you go
And that's
across Pearl
why it
Hill
was
Brook.
bought. Yeah.
That turns and runs along the backside of Pearl Hill Brook. Those,
Up by which
those are
brook?
all, no, right up there, just above you.
Right,
Next road up on the left. Those are all
Which
point
brook?
driven. Those are all point driven wells.
Yeah, I
correct.
was gonna say, I'm on Old Battery Road, and I know for sure those are point
Yeah.
wells, so that's.
And then the
what's
next one
different
up,
than Artesian.
Pearl Hill Brook Road, Pearl Brook Road, just up above your road.
Right.
Those were all point driven wells.
I'm an
They're going right
artesian,
across.
I grew up on,
So-
my farm is
Those are going-
artesian
the power
well.
lines are going right through it.
So
Correct.
let's keep this
So, let's,
moving along with,
yeah,
so Autumn, I come up with a press release. The dates can be what they need to be to match schedule for the Forester. But a little bit of time so people can register and then,
Get the information highway moving on it. The information,
get the information to the highway.
get the information highway moving for us here.
So if you, come up with a press release, we can see if Ronnie, or have Ronnie post it to the news page on the town website. Ms. King said that she would post on social media, I'm sure other people will.
If it's on the website, I can just download whatever press release,
Right, and then it can be, put out there and also reaching out to, for the town sign, the electronic sign, through Jim or through Sabrina?
I would do it through Sabrina,
Okay.
but the trick is, like I said, I think you only allowed 18 characters or something like that, so we'll have to figure out exactly, how to get it.
18 what?
It's 3 lines and it's 18 characters, so I'll have
Yeah,
to look
you
at
have very
what's-
limited, you have to get
Very
creative.
limited what you can do. Well, you can get creative and it works, I'm telling you.
it gets people's attention.
Did you hear that, Autumn?
Yep. Yep, thanks.
All right, so
Good.
keep an eye on the website or, check
I
in
could
with
email
Autumn.
it to Cindy, the press release that.
Okay,
And I appreciate your time coming in tonight.
and thank you.
What
It's an
motivated
informative
you to
thing.
go and get a beehive? How many hives, how
I
many
think I've
units?
lost my mind.
Hmm?
I think I've lost my mind.
Careful
It's a
what
lot
you
of
wish
work.
for.
I know, it's,
Careful what you wish for.
I got interested a couple years ago and started taking some of the classes and got more and more interested and then, and it
I have
started out as
16
a,
hives on the hill
Yeah.
and it can be a disaster.
I'm really, excited about it. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of money, a lot more than I
Just announce
dreamt
it,
when I
so
started this
it's noted.
mission. But I can't wait to get the bees, and
You'll be
I'm
making
scared to
some
death,
big
but
Yeah, take some,
and I'm allergic to
some to the
honey.
family. I got a whole mess.
I'm allergic to bees, but I do.
Okay.
No, what-
I can say I appreciate,
Good luck, Cindy.
working all together. Kevin is going to
If
head
it's
out for the night
okay,
at
it would be
8:32.
okay, I would excuse myself for the evening. I have a problem with a lacerated cornea, I guess they
Well,
call it.
stick
in
a
my eye.
brownie on it. Hold
I
a
know.
brownie on
Take
it.
a brownie
Light it up.
home.
Take a brownie home, you'll be
Trying to
fine.
get the better of me, so I'd like to excuse myself for the evening. Thank you.
Jimmy?
See you, Kev.
Yeah. Thank you.
Take
Thank you
care.
for sticking it out.
Feel better.
All right, 4.3. Transportation Network provides transportation for veterans for VA medical appointments at no cost. And
Which is
I think you
nice.
just sign up. They have a website, all this information's on the town website.
Yes, so the VAB van is right now, we have our first one, we're getting a second one soon. It's available, we want to make it clear, you don't have to be going to a VA hospital or VA clinic. It's available for any veteran, free of charge to go to any medical appointments. They don't even have to be in state. We'll go to Manchester, etc. Right now, we have 4 volunteers that are driving. I'm one of them, matter of fact, and I'm decent driver, so don't.
Are these permanent on-site vehicles
It's
now?
permanent on site, and we're getting a second one soon.
So we got that through a grant?
No, we got it, there's a program that DAB runs, Disabled American Veterans Run, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I butchered that.
we showed enough interest in, as if they said if we got 4 volunteers, Natalie's one, I'm one, and we got 2 other volunteers.
Outstanding.
And we got the one van, and the one van has a dialysis patient, so they need it 3 days a week, so we're gonna be getting the second one, so.
Outstanding. That's a great thing for the vets.
And of course, there's no charge, and like I said, don't feel like you only can use it for VA appointments, you can use it for any medical appointment.
Another good reason to live in town.
Let's keep the ball rolling.
Again, I'm sorry, I butchered that.
It happens,
In respect to
and we never hold it
our
against you.
veterans.
Yeah.
4.4, 66 bigger Hill Road A&R attached is a copy of the A&R approval not required plan, which was endorsed by the planning board on April 1st, 2024. So, education and conferences.
That was approved
What?
4/1/24, Jimmy?
Yes.
Okay.
So, MACC always has classes, available, and there are other wetland classes out there, even through MDR, which most of the time those aren't,
Posted.
we have to go to the MDR website.
Yeah.
Autumn, do you have anything?
No, I don't.
Okay, items for discussion at the next meeting. Hopefully we can get Unitil here the next meeting or 2. Other things at the next meeting, Autumn, West Meadow, 22 and 42.
Yep.
Yeah, yes, we're gonna
Yes.
review the,
Yes, yes, sir. You don't have to get into detail.
right. And that's gonna be for the next meeting. I just submitted the paperwork on that,
Okay.
so check was, received, et cetera.
Autumn, was there anything else for the next meeting that we noted?
No.
It's 8:36. Can I have a motion and a second to adjourn?
I motion, we adjourn the meeting at the time of, what do you have, Jimmy?
8:36.
8:36.
I'll second that.
Roll call vote.
James Drouin, yes?
James Gates, yes.
Pat Jamal, yes.
Our next meeting is April 24th, 2024, 7 PM. Thank you.